history class teach about 1788? They taught us discovery, but it was actually invasion of inhabited land. How were Aboriginal people really portrayed in old textbooks? Textbooks showed Aboriginal people as primitive. Reality, 65,000 years of sophisticated culture. How did different Australians see January 26th? Some celebrate Australia Day, others mourn Invasion Day. Same date, opposite meanings. What was Australia like before 1788? Before 1788, thriving Aboriginal nations with complex societies and sustainable land practices. How many Aboriginal languages existed before colonization? 250 plus Aboriginal languages thrived. Today, only 13 are considered strong. Cultural genocide. When did these massive protests happen across Australia? January 26, 2026, tens of thousands marched across Australia. What do Indigenous protesters call January 26th? They called Invasion Day, not a celebration, but mourning. Who's speaking so powerfully at this Melbourne rally? An Aboriginal elder sharing powerful truth and history. Where is this little one watching the protest from? On their parents' shoulders, next generation learning and watching. What happened to Aboriginal connection to country? Sacred connection to country for 65,000 years, then forcibly removed by colonizers. What were Aboriginal land management practices really like? Aboriginal people were expert land managers using controlled burns. Colonizers destroyed ecosystems. Would you celebrate on a day of mourning? Would you party on the day your ancestors were invaded? Indigenous Australians remember? Do you know what Terra Nullius really means? Terra Nullius meant empty land, but 750,000 people already lived here. A legal lie. Party with fireworks or remember the pain? Fireworks and BBQs for some. Grief and mourning for First Nations people. Know the difference. Which city shows both protest groups in one place? Canberra, two groups with very different views on this day. What arrived at Sydney Cove back in 1788? British ships arrived. That's when colonization and invasion began. What painful historical photo are these hands holding? A stolen generations photo. Painful history still felt today. How many different protest groups can you see here? Two opposing groups, Australia Day supporters and Invasion Day protesters. Will you stay comfortable or learn the truth? Staying comfortable means ignoring truth. Learning history means facing uncomfortable facts. Choose growth. Can you defend your traditions or listen to others? Defending tradition at the cost of others' pain or listening with empathy? Justice matters more. How did colonization really begin for Aboriginal people? 1788 began with invasion, disease, violence, 90% of Aboriginal population wiped out. What happened to Aboriginal children for 60 years? Stolen generations, 1910 to 1970. Children forcibly taken from families. Trauma continues today. Keep Australia Day on January 26th or change it. Keep January 26th and ignore the pain, or change the date and honor all Australians. How many Aboriginal languages existed before colonization? 250 plus languages. Now only 13 are strong, massive loss. What two important flags are raised high here? Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags, representing First Nations pride. What powerful comparison does this protest poster show? Australia Day versus Invasion Day. Same date, completely different meanings. What beautiful moment are these young protesters sharing? Solidarity and hope, different backgrounds united for justice and change. What were the frontier wars that schools never teach? They called it conflict, but it was systematic massacre. Frontier wars killed thousands through poisoned water holes, mass shootings, children thrown into fires. Not conflict, extermination. What did Protection Acts actually protect Aboriginal people from? Protection Acts gave government power to control every aspect of Aboriginal lives. Where you lived, who you married, whether you kept your children. Protection meant total control. What really happened in missions beyond saving souls? Missions weren't about saving souls. They were cultural genocide centers. Christianity forced, traditional practices banned, language beaten out of children, families torn apart for God. Where did billions in stolen Aboriginal wages go? Aboriginal workers built this country's infrastructure and farms. Government took their wages for safekeeping. Billions stolen, never returned. Unpaid labor is slavery. Were reserves really protection or something much darker? Reserves weren't protection, they were concentration camps. Forced onto small parcels of worse land, rations instead of hunting rights, movement controlled, living in poverty on your own country. What were the frontier war schools never teach you about? Systematic massacres, poisoned water holes, mass shootings, children killed, not conflict, extermination. What did Protection Acts really protect Aboriginal people from? Gave government total control. Where you lived, who you married, keeping your children. Protection was slavery. What really happened inside Christian missions to Aboriginal people? Forced cultural genocide, Christianity forced, language beaten out, families torn apart, not salvation, destruction. Where did billions in stolen Aboriginal wages disappear to? Billions stolen by government. Aboriginal workers built this country unpaid, wages taken, never returned, slavery. How did blood quantum laws destroy Aboriginal families? Half-caste acts classified children by skin color. Light enough? Taken from family for assimilation. Too dark? Left on reserves. Families destroyed by racist blood quantum laws. When were Aboriginal people finally recognized as human, not fauna? Flora and Fauna didn't act classified Aboriginal people with animals until 1967. Banned from towns, Aboriginal and Dog Act signs at entries. Treated as less than human by law. Why don't textbooks mention the hundreds of massacres? Schools teach Captain Cook, not the massacres. Myall Creek, Coniston, Forest River. Hundreds of massacres erased from curriculum. They don't want you knowing the truth. Was any treaty ever signed giving land to colonizers? No treaty was ever signed. This land was never legally ceded. Aboriginal people never gave permission. Australia is still occupied territory. Sovereignty never ceded. Did the 2008 apology actually change anything? Kevin Rudd said sorry in 2008. 18 years later, still no treaty, still no truth-telling, still no justice. Apology without action is just empty words. Were reserves safe havens or something much darker? Concentration camps, forced onto worse land, controlled movement, living in poverty, not protection, imprisonment. How did blood quantum laws tear families apart forever? Destroyed them by skin color, light enough taken for assimilation, too dark left behind, families split by racist laws. When were Aboriginal people finally recognized as human, not animals? 1967, referendum. Until then classified as flora and fauna, treated as animals, not humans, for 179 years. Why are hundreds of massacres missing from history books? Too uncomfortable truth. Hundreds of massacres erased from curriculum. They don't want you knowing genocide. Is Close the Gap closing, or is the gap getting worse? Close the Gap policies failing spectacularly. Aboriginal people still die 8 years younger. Suicide rates catastrophic. Incarceration rates highest in world. Gap's not closing, it's widening. What happened to 46,000-year-old Juukan Gorge sacred site? Juukan Gorge sacred site, 46,000 years old, blown up by Rio Tinto for iron ore in 2020. Sacred sites destroyed for profit while mining companies pay tiny fines. Culture worth less than money. How many Aboriginal people have died in custody since 1991? Over 500 Aboriginal people died in police custody since 1991. 0 convictions. Still happening today. Royal Commission recommendations ignored. Deaths continue. Justice never comes. Did government control over Aboriginal lives really end? Income management, cashless welfare cards, the intervention. Controlling Aboriginal people's money and lives never ended. Different name, same paternalism, same lack of trust, same control. How did Aboriginal people survive 236 years of genocide? They tried to kill us with disease, massacres, stolen children, stolen wages, reserves, missions. We're still here, 65,000 years and counting. Survival itself is resistance. Was any treaty ever signed giving away Aboriginal land? No, never. No treaty was ever signed. Land never legally ceded. This is occupied territory. Did Kevin Rudd's 2008 apology actually change anything real? No, just empty words. 2008 apology. 18 years later, still no treaty, no justice. Words without action mean nothing. Is Close the Gap working or failing spectacularly? No gap widening. Aboriginal people still die 8 years younger. Highest incarceration rates. Gaps getting worse, not better. What happened to the 46,000-year-old Juukan Gorge? Blown up for mining. Rio Tinto destroyed 46,000-year-old sacred site for iron ore.